Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Millie's Bayside Chats, where we are live streaming to bring some calm to the chaos of your PCS. Twice a week, we bring in duty station experts to give you the dish on a PCS there. So we'll talk culture, climate, schools, commutes, neighborhoods, you name it. So bring your questions if you have them, and we'll be sure to answer them. Even if it's a duty station you're not headed to, we encourage you to tune in every week because you never know. I'm Kelly Artis, and we are really glad that you are here. So today, you guys, I am super excited to introduce you to one of our very own MILLIE Scouts. But before we get started, I just wanted to call your attention to one quick little thing. If you would like to engage with the broadcast, go ahead and click on the little link in the comments, or I think it's in the post copy, so that you can interact. Give eCam permission to pull your comment onto the screen for me. That would be fantastic. So today we are going to talk about Fort Leavenworth. If you were in the Army, you will probably end up at Leavenworth at some point in time. It's a quick duty station. There's a ton of turnover all at one time, so it could be a little chaotic. So we wanted to jump in and tackle that right off the bat. I've seen several of you posting in the comments in the group that you are headed there. So we want to be sure to answer some of your questions before you get into your planning phase, and you probably should be already there. So I want to introduce you guys today to Kait Day. Hi, Kait. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Hey. So we had this scheduled earlier this week, had a little hiccup. I think everybody on the planet, including Facebook, is dealing with a stomach bug. So I am really glad your family is healthy and recovered, and you are free to join us today.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here, especially with a place like this. It's a little sometimes crazy to get in and out of. And so I hope that some of our conversation today can help people incoming here.
Yeah, it's chaotic. So we've had 3 of our Bayside Chat guests so far have spent time at Leavenworth, and they've all said the same thing. Like, it is bonkers. So we want to try to keep anybody that's headed there from stressing out. So let's jump right in. So Kait, you are from New York, right? So you guys were stationed at Fort Drum and then got orders to go to Leavenworth. So talk me through that process. What was it like for you? Like, take me back to when you got your orders. Like, what did that look like?
So coming here, we came from Campbell first. Fort Drum was way long time ago.
Got it.
But Fort Campbell, we had about a year left before he was scheduled to get his promotion, if he was getting promoted, which he did, and for CGSC resident ILE. So when we got the orders from Campbell to here, the first thing was housing. Mm-hmm. Knowing one of our field grade officers that had just come from here, they said it gets crazy, especially around the time frame that we're moving because of the student population. There's about 1,000 to 1,200 CGSC resident students, not including SAM students, which is about another 400, I think, that move in about May. So there's a lot of movement in the summer. So our first thing was looking at housing, making sure that we had something to go to. Now, you either go on post or you go off post. If you're living on post, you need to contact the housing office as soon as you can. They do change things regularly on how they're operating for assigning houses. This year is very different from last year, and it's very different from the year before when we first got here. So if you're going there and you want to live on base, call housing now.
Talk to me about the differences. I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I'm curious about that.
Housing, when you go to a different post, you have the ability to get on a list sooner. Last year, somebody had to be here present for you with a power of attorney for housing for you to get on the list. Compared to my process of going back to Drum now, we just have to send all of our information there. And then once we want to go active on their list to be offered housing, we can do that. So we don't have to have anybody physically present at Drum to get us on the list, where last year you had to have somebody physically present. This year, you can call the office and you're not going to get assigned a house right away. You get assigned a house when you arrive here and check in. So people that get here sooner will get the houses sooner because they are here. They're not having open houses waiting for people.
But otherwise, they're getting on a wait list and having to go through. So bells are going off in my head. What a cool thing that you could offer someone as a scout to be able to go in and put them on the housing list with your power of attorney. You guys, if y'all are listening, that seems huge to me.
Yeah, and it was very helpful last year. I know a couple people took advantage of it with another scout that was here, which was great.
Cool.
And then, like I said, this year, just call them and double check because they're constantly changing, so that they may be able to get you on the list, but you're not going to be able to get a house till you get here. So
it's still a little bit of peace of mind. You're just working your way down the list.
And if you're off post, look at the houses now.
Yeah.
If you need somebody to get out there and look at them and want the neighborhood look before you're signing the lease, do it, because the houses go quickly. When we signed on our house, we got orders to Leavenworth in January 2017. I think we got our hard orders in February. 2 weeks later, if that, we had a lease signed sight unseen.
Wow.
So if there was a MILLIE Scout here, I would have definitely taken advantage of them, because things can be different when pictures are seen compared to when somebody's there for you.
Yeah, we know that. We always say you can't smell cat pee in the photos.
Nope, I wish I had a MILLIE Scout here to take a look at the house that we're in right now. So
yeah, and so you guys, if you're tuning in,
it's great, but
yeah, and you don't know what a MILLIE Scout is, we may be talking a different language, maybe you're new to the group, I'll give you just a brief synopsis. So MILLIE Scouts are military spouses stationed far and wide that you can hire to do kind of one-off tasks when it comes to relocation. So they can be, eyes and ears, fact finders, information collectors, to give back stuff to you and information to you to help you make informed decisions if you can't be there. So especially in this case, if you're looking at heading into Fort Leavenworth, you can hire somebody like Kait to do a FaceTime tour with you through the house, because maybe the property manager or the homeowner, maybe they're not tech savvy, or maybe they're not going to show you the closet in the back room. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's stuff that you might just want to see yourself, but you can't get there to do it. Our scouts can provide just a little bit of peace of mind, and just kind of be your eyes and ears, like, on the ground. So that's awesome. Tell me, you said you did a scout job for somebody last year, the same kind of situation, like going to look at a house?
I was actually helping another scout with her rental property here. So cool. Going to do a walk-in tour with the new tenant, making sure that everything was situated, handling a little problem that actually turned up, which is in our scouts' favor, actually. Cool. So that was great. Yeah. And being able to help out another scout was great too, besides just helping out somebody.
Well, I think that speaks volumes too about the network. If you guys are willing to use the network yourselves, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Do you eat in your own restaurant? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's a great testament. I love it. Okay, so let's talk off. You got, anytime you PCS, your two first questions are, do I live on base or off? I know a ton of people choose to live on base at Fort Leavenworth. Today, let's focus on off base, just because that is a little more unknown and a little harder to figure out sometimes. So talk to me about some of the popular areas around the installation that folks like to live, and maybe a couple of words on why, like the characteristics.
Well, there's Leavenworth itself, which is close proximity to post. It's about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on what part that you live in. So there's Shenandoah neighborhood, there's the Branches, there's a couple great neighborhoods across Leavenworth to live in. Lansing is another one. It's a little bit further away, but a little bit closer to Kansas City, Outlet Mall, Target.
Okay. Yep. Where's the Target?
Yep. Target is not in town here. So that's one thing that some people miss. If you're coming from a larger base like Fort Campbell or Fort Bragg, you're not going to have a Target in town here. You have Walmart.
Okay. But that matters, right? And that's actually one of the parameters that I used when I was doing some of the base guides to get an idea of what the area was. What's the big shopping? Is it Target? Is it Walmart? Is it Dollar General? Right? Because sometimes that's all you have. But it helps kind of give you an idea of, like, what's available amenity wise. So great. What are the grocery store chains?
We have Dillon's, Price Chopper, and then Walmart. Those are the three big ones besides the commissary on post.
Right. And then how far away is Target?
Target, depending on which one that you go to.
Okay.
There's Missouri side or Kansas side, about 25 to 35 minutes. And that's where everything is. That's where, like, a Marshall's is. It's where Drive-through Starbucks. There's no drive-through coffee. Starbucks coffee. There's a lot of local stuff around here, which is great. In town, there's a great coffee shop that has amazing donuts. I highly recommend.
What's it called?
Merriweather's.
Merriweather's. I've seen it. I've seen
Yep,
people.
they
I've seen
are
people post about it.
the best donuts.
Cool. Okay, sorry, I totally interrupted you.
That's all right.
Got off track.
So Lansing is great as well. Still very close to post, probably close to the 25-minute mark for getting to base. Great school districts over there from friends that I have over there, lovely homes as well. They're a little bit closer to the Kansas City outlets called Legends that also has a Target. You can also go to the Missouri side of things and go to Target over there, which is still 25, 30 minutes right near the airport, which is really close, all things compared to some other places we've lived, even though you're driving through the country to get there. But really, you're 25, 30 minutes from anything that you would ever need. In town here, there's 2 emergency rooms, which is something with a small child I was concerned about. And then if you need more attentive care for a child, there's Children's Mercy in Kansas City, which is about 30 minutes.
Cool.
So you do have a lot of good local options, but if you need more, it's not forever away.
Yeah, you're not out in the middle of the desert somewhere with.
No.
Yeah,
no.
That's good. That's good to know. So I know you have a little one. Can you speak to the schools at all in the area? Like what seems to be like popular choices for families?
She's not school age, so I only know from what I hear from people with older kids. We have a friend here that has a daughter who is in 11th grade, and they're in the local Leavenworth school district. And she likes it so much that they're actually going to stay a year while he moves on so that she finishes out school here. So I would say that's something to say. Lansing, I've heard great things about their school district. On Post, I've heard a lot of great things about their schools as well.
That's fantastic.
So I haven't heard any complaints from people with school-age children about the quality of schools here.
So I know you mentioned the Scout that you had done the job for before that has a property there. One of the little things that I've heard, nuggets just in my circles, is that property values are really great there. And a lot of people buy up homes while they're there and either keep them as rentals so that they can return. I have one friend that wants to homestead there because she loved it so much. So that's something to kind of think about too, especially if you're someone who likes to purchase investment properties or, that kind of does the military landlord thing as a revenue stream. Do you have experience with that? Do you know folks that do that?
We have a home in Tennessee that we are renting out. So there are a lot of homes here with military owners. It's almost guaranteed that your house will rent if it's off post, because people are looking, people are renting, and if you have a nice house and you present it well enough in a school district that you prefer, in a good neighborhood that's friendly to kids, it's likely that it will rent. Like I said, most houses are renting 5 months in advance. They have signed leases.
Wow.
So that's, for me, is unheard of. Being a military homeowner with a home in another state, I don't have tenants lined up 5 months out.
It's just so predictable. It's such a predictable cycle. Like, that's crazy. And don't they move? Everybody moves in the same little 2-week period, right?
Just about. We're setting up our household goods, and it's going to be interesting.
I bet.
So people either will pack up early or will be packing up on the later end of things. So you're going to be on one end or the other.
Yeah.
You're going to be out of stuff for a couple of weeks, or you're going to be stressing maybe at the last minute to get some stuff together. But such is the nature of this assignment, which is kind of exciting.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, so what are do you have any hidden gems? I know you've already dropped your coffee shop, but
that's a winner right there. Those donuts are dangerous. Downtown Leavenworth, I think, is a hidden gem that people don't realize right away. I found out about it by a event that they were doing called a charm hunt. So in August, when we first got here, we got here in June, but August was when I really got out and checked this thing out. You go around to all the stores and you collect charms and stamps for going in there. And if you make a purchase, you get a discount from whatever they're offering with their promotion. But you get to go in and see the quality that they have here. There's European pottery shops. There's an old school toy shop called Dad's Toys. And it's so much fun, like things that I played with as a kid, which was great. There's a bookstore. There's military shops in there. There's cakes. There's a theater in town. There's another theater, a movie theater that is amazing. Reclining chairs. So if you need a parents' night out and you need to have some adult beverages with you as well, they have that provided, which is great. There's just a lot in the town that I think you might look over, seeing the size of the town coming from a different base. So like I said, coming from one of the larger bases and you're used to this big town atmosphere with the big targets, you go into this town and you're like, you get out, walk around, look in the shops, because there are such cool things and the people are great.
Aww.
It's very military friendly and people are absolutely wonderful in this town.
Well, yeah, because that's the big industry, right? I mean, is there anything really else? Like,
there is a Hallmark factory in Lansing. Okay. And I think that's probably the other big employer in the area.
Okay.
Besides like a Walmart.
Besides the Walmart.
But like a lot of retired military families. Yeah. They're very friendly. And to get out and see these things, they have a Live After 5 where you go around to the shops and you try whatever they're offering for drinks that day. And once again, they offer shop specials, but you get to go around and see what they have and what they have to offer, which is really cool and something that I didn't expect here. And I'm glad I did those events to see what this town had to offer.
That's really cool. So is there anything that you miss from other duty stations that you don't have there? Because it sounds like it's a pretty well-rounded.
It is pretty well-rounded, and the biggest thing that I can say, because we came here as permanent party and not as CGSC, was the community. Initially is what I was missing, because Fort Campbell and the unit that we were in had such great community. When you're here as a permanent party, we were in a different scenario where most of the people that my husband had worked with were civilians. So to get out to meet people, you have to think outside the box, because it's not a unit with an FRG. Well, the unit that we were with. Some of the other aspects might be, but only speaking on my experience working on the general staff in one of those positions.
Yeah.
There wasn't like that FRG aspect to where you can meet people.
Yeah, I get that.
on post, they had the mom's workout group. They have the gym in town, which a lot of people make their friends that way if they're not in a neighborhood that has a neighborhood page.
Right.
Also, off-post schoolhouse spouses have now created their own page.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I was going to say, you being off-post probably hindered a lot of that.
It's a bit different because so many people do live on post here.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of the assignment.
Right.
But last year, while the incoming class was coming in, somebody had created a network for off-post spouses.
Cool.
Which is still there, still active. Incoming people are coming in and joining, and they're able to start making friends and networking, finding kids that their kids are going to be able to play with now, which is so important to me, in my opinion, living off post and not having that network of a traditional unit where the first couple of weeks here, your soldier or whoever is coming with you doesn't have their small group yet. So you don't know what families you're going to be around on a regular basis with that. So if you're going there and you're living off post, go find that off post spouses group, because this year was so different than last year because of people like that.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching this, throw a comment in the comment section below, and I'm sure Kait can hook you up or get you in that group, connect you with the resources that are there, so that, like she said, you can go ahead and start establishing your life before you get there. It'll just save time in the long run. I think it's a great idea. And then to your point, like, I know that was really hard when my kids were super little, because they're not in school, So you have to kind of create the community around you sometimes, instead of just, expecting it to be kind of like offered to you on a plate, ready-made friends. So
it makes the mom dating thing a little bit easier.
The kid,
or spouse dating, whatever position that you're in.
Yep.
So to find people with kids similar in age to yours to have that adult interaction, but also have your kids
Yeah.
have interaction as well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so is there anything that you wish you had known before you got there? Like a tip or something that you would tell someone moving in?
How close it is to everything. Where Leavenworth, when I came here, I was like, this is in the middle of nowhere. I grew up 40 minutes outside New York City. We could take the train into the city at any point. So living in other places have been different, but this has been very different for me. Not really realizing how close Kansas City is, what it has to offer. Omaha, Nebraska is like 2.5 hours, maybe 3. You can go out there and see the Children's Museum and the zoo
so
out there.
Random. Yeah, I didn't even have a bearing on that. Okay. Nebraska.
The zoos around here are great. We got our yearly pass to the zoo here, and it's been wonderful.
Oh, that's cool. Love those.
As long as the weather's great, you can go multiple times a month, and the kids love it. There's playgrounds out in the zoo in Kansas City. There's just a lot to do that I initially didn't realize, because Leavenworth, I knew that CGSC was here, but didn't really have an aspect of what it entailed. I knew Leavenworth for the famous aspect of the disciplinary barracks.
Yeah.
So,
you say that so political. The disciplinary barracks. I love that.
On post here, there's a lot of history as well. Like the old USTV has been transitioned into office buildings, as well as there's a restaurant there.
Cool.
So it's really cool to kind of go in there and see it, and even just eat. The sandwiches are good there during lunchtime. But it's kind of cool to go in and see and go walk around post, and it is beautiful. There's a lot of outdoor stuff as well. So
and you live by water, don't you? Do you guys have aren't there other lakes? Like what's up?
We have the Missouri River. We have the Missouri River, which is right here. I could sneeze probably and hit it. We also have the Lake of the Ozarks, which is about 3 hours, I think. Atkinson County, there's a lot of hunting. There's a lot of hunting here. People like hunting.
Okay.
You can hunt on post as well. They have their season.
Cool.
A lot of outdoors. There's some hills. There's some good hills in town if you need to run.
Oh, gosh.
If you're off post and you need a good trail, there's a couple good trails to run on. Weather-wise, it's typically pretty mild. This winter was pretty bad. Even for a New Yorker, there was a lot of ice. So just to be very careful with that.
Okay.
But it's pretty mild in my opinion. It was less hot than Tennessee, in my opinion.
Less hot. Well, yeah. Okay, I can see that. You're a little farther north. I don't know.
A little farther north. It was a little less hot. It still had its bad days.
I guarantee the hottest day is the day that you're moving.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what someone said that the other day. It was like, yeah, that day was like 1,000,000 degrees.
When we moved here, it was raining. It was pouring when we got our delivery.
Course. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I hear such good things. I remember when we were in a position to maybe go to Leavenworth, I was like, I don't want to go there. Like, what's there? I don't know. It just seemed like one of those that I was like, no, I'm not going to Kansas. But then the more I heard about it, I was like, I want to go to Kansas.
Yeah, and that's kind of how my opinion was too. I had such a warm military family at Campbell. So coming to Leavenworth was like almost breaking my heart.
Yeah.
But now that we've been here a little bit more, there is a lot that it has to offer, and there's a lot of good stuff here that will be missed.
That's so cool. All right, so what's next for you?
We're headed to Fort Drum next.
So
to the tundra.
Yeah. So I know we have a Fort Drum chat planned soon. So I'll be sure to tag you, throw in any of your questions so we can get you kind of circled around and close the loop on that for you. And Caitlin, what's so cool about being a scout is that you can just change your zip code or your thing on your, sorry, I'm getting a notification. You can just change your zip code on your scout profile and ta-da, you're now a scout at Fort Drum. So if you guys are curious about the scout program, some of the jobs that Caitlin and all of our other awesome scouts can do for you at all kinds of duty stations. I think we're up to 130 scouts now. Just kind of standing by, ready to help you out. Head over to scout.gomillie.com and you can see a list of some of the jobs. Don't be shy. Reach out, message back and forth with somebody in your area, right? You've got that going on right now, right? You're just trying to work out the details of a job. Those listings aren't set in stone. We customize them all the time because they hardly ever fit exactly what someone needs. So we are sure to customize them. And yeah, have you enjoyed your Scout experience?
I have,
Yeah.
having a small child, and sometimes here, especially, a lot of people don't work. A lot of the spouses aren't working because childcare can be interesting to try and find full time.
Interesting.
So having the flexibility of this is great. And being able to take it with me everywhere is great too.
Yeah.
That's not something that you can take
Yeah.
with everything
Oh yeah.
that one does.
Yeah, you've got, you could do Facebook pages with all your stuff, all your Scout stuff on it. You'll get to now use this as something in your arsenal and your toolkit and resources. And then, yeah, you just change your zip code. You take all your reviews, your job histories, everything with you when you go. So if you guys are interested in becoming a Scout, this is something that sounds like something you would be interested in pursuing. Head over to the website. If you want to hire a Scout, specifically if you need to hire one at Fort Leavenworth, we've got how long? You said 3 months?
We'll be out of here in June. So
Dude,
about
you've got till June.
4 months.
And like Caitlin said, you need to go ahead and get a jump on it. Like, don't wait. If you've got orders, it's time to start making some moves. So, okay, great. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Enjoy the time here.
Yeah.
You know what? It's definitely gone by quick, and I can't believe how quick it is.
That's so
enjoy it all.
Yeah, we did 18 months somewhere once, and I was like, it was a blink and it was over. I'm like, wow. So, okay. Thank you so much for your time, Caitlin. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, that's going to wrap us up for today. We will be back next week with 2 more Bayside Chats. Be sure to throw in the comments if you have any questions whatsoever about Fort Leavenworth. Throw them in this thread. And myself and Caitlin and anyone else who has been there and has experience would be happy to answer those questions for you. So be sure to check the events tab in the group for upcoming chats. Be sure to click get notified and all that stuff. Hopefully this posts today and we get to save it and Facebook doesn't continue glitching out. And if anybody's stressed out over the Facebook outage, we feel your pain. We're right there with you. So hang in there. We'll all get through this together. Okay. Bye, everyone.